It's 2:17 a.m. Your room is dark, but your face is glowing. The world is quiet outside. Inside your phone, it's endless. You tell yourself you're just scrolling to relax, but your chest feels tight for no clear reason. Someone your age just bought a house. Someone else just launched a startup. Another person is traveling the world with perfect lighting. You're staring at your ceiling. You don't feel lazy, you feel behind. And no one told you exactly what you're behind on. Just everything. You grew up online. Comparison wasn't occasional, it was constant. Childhood had Wi-Fi. Insecurity had an audience. Every awkward phase was documented. Every mistake could be replayed. You learned early that identity is editable, filterable, rebrandable. So you curate, even when you say you don't care. You want to be authentic, but you also want to be liked. And somewhere in between, you got tired. People say your generation is sensitive. They don't see how much you absorb. Climate anxiety, economic instability, political chaos, global pandemics. You inherited a burning house and were told to stay calm. You joke about it because humor feels safer than despair. You call it coping, but sometimes it's numbing. You care deeply, almost painfully, about fairness, about identity, about being seen correctly, not misunderstood. You correct language, you question systems, not because you're dramatic, because you've seen what silence does. But here's the quiet part. You're exhausted. You want to change the world and also disappear for a while. You crave connection, but avoid phone calls. Texting feels manageable. Eye contact feels vulnerable. You can share your trauma online, but struggle to ask for help offline. You understand therapy language, attachment styles, boundaries, gaslighting. You can label your wounds, but labeling isn't the same as healing. You say, I'm setting boundaries. Sometimes you're just protecting fragile energy. You watched your parents burn out, so you fear becoming them. Work isn't your identity, but you still panic about success. Hustle culture told you to grind. Your nervous system said no. So you oscillate, overachieve, then collapse. Productivity feels urgent. Rest feels guilty. You grew up with options, too many options. Careers, lifestyles, identities, paths. Freedom sounds beautiful until you have to choose. What if you pick wrong? What if you waste time? So you research endlessly, commit slowly. You call it being intentional. Sometimes it's fear. Relationships feel complicated. Everyone is self-aware and guarded. You want healthy love, but you don't fully trust stability. Chaos feels familiar. Calm feels suspicious. You say you hate drama, but silence makes you anxious. You fear being too much and not enough. Your self-esteem fluctuates with algorithms. Engagement feels like validation. When a post underperforms, it feels personal. You know it's irrational. Your body doesn't. Dopamine trained you well. Scroll, refresh, repeat. Attention became fragmented. Stillness became uncomfortable. And yet, you crave depth, long conversations, real presence, meaningful work, slow love. You're not shallow, you're overstimulated. You're not lazy, you're overwhelmed. You're not fragile, you're hyper-aware. Awareness without power feels heavy, like seeing cracks you can't fix. So you retreat into niches, small online tribes, communities that understand your references, your humor, your pain. Belonging matters to you, deeply, because loneliness feels louder now, not quieter. You can FaceTime anyone and still feel alone. Here's the reframe. Your psychology makes sense. You developed in a world that never paused, so your mind rarely does. You learned visibility early, so you monitor yourself constantly. You inherited instability, so you crave control. You saw hypocrisy, so you question everything. Your anxiety isn't random, it's contextual. Your restlessness isn't weakness, it's adaptation. And maybe the healing isn't deleting everything. Maybe it's choosing what actually deserves your attention. Maybe it's letting yourself be average at something without broadcasting it. Maybe it's building one real habit instead of 10 digital identities. Maybe it's calling someone, even if your voice shakes. You don't need to solve the world tonight. It will still be complicated tomorrow. You don't need to optimize yourself into exhaustion. You are not a startup. You're a nervous system in a loud era, and it makes sense that you're tired. You've been plugged in for years. So maybe right now you put the phone face down. The room gets darker, but quieter. Your thoughts slow slightly. Not perfect, just softer. You're still Gen Z, still aware, still thoughtful, still questioning. But for a moment, you're just human. No audience, no metrics, just breath, in and out. The world is still messy. Your future is still uncertain. But uncertainty doesn't mean failure. It means you're alive in transition. And maybe that's the real psychology of your generation. Not fragility, not entitlement, not chaos. It's adaptation at high speed, sensitivity in a hyper-stimulated world. It's caring loudly while quietly fearing burnout. It's wanting meaning without losing yourself to the noise. And tonight, you don't need to solve it. You just need to rest your mind from the endless scroll. Because you were never broken, you were raised in acceleration.